Jim, we just came out of the appellate court for the oral arguments for our appeal. Can you highlight some of the issues that were brought up in the oral arguments today?
Sure, Kathy. Yeah, the court was very interested in the arguments that we were bringing forth before them. Primarily, the arguments today that we presented focused on the change in the duties and obligations for insurance agents and brokers in connection with the new obligations that the regulation imposes, and how that conflicts with decisions from the Court of Appeals and from the Third Department, which was the case, the court hearing this case today. We also talked about the various vague terms within the regulation and how those could potentially cause problems for insurance agents and brokers in trying to comply with the regulation. And then finally, we spoke about the tremendous costs that are involved: time, money, man hours, woman hours, in trying to gather the information to effectively comply with the regulation as drafted. Overall, I feel that the court was very receptive to the arguments that we put forth today, and let's keep our fingers crossed that we'll get a good decision in our favor that will annul this regulation.
That's great. Just one more question,
Sure.
Jim. Can you give us an idea of what you think perhaps the timeline might be for a decision?
Well, in my experience with the Third Department, they're one of the quicker appellate divisions in getting decisions out. Our hope is that we should have a decision within the next, 1 to 3 months at the most. But as soon as we have something available, trust me, the members will be advised immediately, and we'll let everybody know what the decision is and how it will affect you.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thanks. Take care. Well, I appreciate both of you guys being here, lending your moral support for the appeal today. I was very caught up in my arguments, and I thought that the court was very receptive to them, but maybe you might be able to share with me your thoughts as to how the court reacted. What do you think, Chris?
Strictly as a non-legal eagle, just an innocent observer, I thought that the court was asking succinct questions, a couple of your points, particularly the duty issue. I think that they keyed in on that. Now we just got to wait and see how they respond. I thought you did a very good job, Jim, though, and I think you represented our association very well. I want to thank you for that.
Well, thanks, Chris. And I have to mention it was a true team effort. Chris and my other partners and our associates, we worked together to formulate the briefs and the arguments.
Chris, you were watching the judges, so I mean, what did you think?
I thought the judges were very receptive to the argument. I thought their questions were poignant, and I thought we answered them concisely, which is what they like to see. I thought we were on point on the things that they were concerned about: the conflict with the statute, whether the statute was vague, and I think those issues are clear in our brief and in our oral arguments. I thought the opposing side had a difficult time answering the questions. My belief is that at least one justice on the far right seemed receptive to their argument, but the four to the left of him seemed somewhat not concerned or enthralled with his arguments before them. So hopefully it'll come out, and the result we were looking for will end up to come out in our favor. So I look forward to that, and I think, Jim, you did a phenomenal job as always.
Well, thanks again, guys, for being here.
Very good
great.
job.
Appreciate it.
Keep your fingers crossed, everybody.
They are.
Thank you, guys.